live with Cannon Planning. I am Wendy Cannon, and I am excited that you guys are joining me today. If you are popping in, say hello. If you're catching the replay, let me know so that I can thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. The conversation we're going to have today is about the brain dump. Now, if you have been following me for a hot minute, you know how much I loathe this word, but the context behind it is fantastic. It is a really great way for us to really think about how we can clear our minds of some mental clutter. I want to ask you guys a quick question first. How many of you feel like your brain is constantly running, like it's right, trying to keep up with all the things? You've got ideas, you've got to-do lists, you've got random thoughts that are popping into your head. It's just total chaos up there. In fact, if you are agreeing with me, or you feel like you know what that means, or you are experiencing that, go ahead and comment chaos in the comments, because I want to understand and empathize with you, because I've been there, friends. So I want to talk today about the brain dump and how we can use that to clear the clutter and create a plan. And I do not have my other camera set up today. I'm having some technical difficulties with it. I don't know what's going on. And so I'm just going to have to do the hold and share thing with you guys today. So I just want you guys to think for a few seconds, what is a brain dump essentially? So a brain dump is a simple act of writing things down, writing everything down, anything that's taking up space in your head, anything that is frustrating for you, anything that is overwhelming for you. We're going to take some time and we're going to drop that onto a piece of paper just so that it's there. Okay, that's the first part that we're going to do. The key to this whole process is there's no filtering, there's no prioritizing. It is just an opportunity for you to dump everything that is on your mind onto a piece of paper. So you can use, I'm going to share with you guys 3 of my favorites. All right. So journals are a fantastic way to do a brain dump. You have an opportunity to do a lined version. You can do a lined version, or Tool 12 also carries a dot grid version, which happens to be one of my favorites. I love using a good dot grid. We also used to have a blank one. We no longer have that. Another way that you can utilize a brain dump is to use the Declutter Your Mind. This is also a great one for dumping and prioritizing all in one, which makes it super handy. We're going to talk about the steps to do this in just a hot second. And then my personal favorite is the Brain Dump Weekly, which is essentially what its name says, is a brain dump. So there's a blank page on one side, and then on the other side, there is a place for you to do your weekly planning, where you can move these things into this weekly planning session. Or if you're like getting things done, you just have a place over here for you to write your calendar, and then you can kind of see where you're going to fit your task list in throughout the course of the week. This happens to be my favorite option just because I love this insert so much. So that is some of the tools that you can use. I want you to take just a quick second to think in your mind. If you have a piece of paper handy while you're listening to me, you can make down some notes or take some things that you have in your head, and you can start to really clarify those or clear that mental clutter. That's the word I'm looking for, mental clutter. All right, so I mentioned this Declutter Your Mind insert and how you can utilize it. And really what we're going to be doing is we're going to be dumping on one side, and then on the other side, we're going to be categorizing. So here's an easy, quick way for you to be able to look at it. And I've done a couple of them. If you were following along here on the business page, I did one on the first. So you can kind of see how that goes. But you can also color code if you want to, however works for you. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your list, and you're going to say, what are the easiest things that I can get done? What are the things that are not going to take a whole lot of time? So you can see on here, get cat food. That's a 2-minute task, although it takes me a minute to run down to the store, right, and back. But that's really something that can be added to my list. Call and check on my son's well child visit. Quick and easy things for you to be able to do. Update Gradebook and Trello. Again, that's a really quick thing for me to do. I can go to my back office. How many orders do I have? And go ahead and update those. Those are 3 really quick things. Now, the reason why being able to grab those quick wins right away or do those 2-minute tasks right away is that it gives you that satisfaction of having those quick wins. And you're like, whew, look at that. I can check 3 things off my list. Bam, bam, bam. It gives you the momentum to continue to strive and move forward with your task list. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is, what are your top 3 tasks? What are your top 3 things that absolutely have to get done for the day, for the week, whatever you're working on? This was mainly for the weekend. So follow up with Michelle. Okay, that's a quick message. That's also something that could go down here in easy top 3. But if it was time sensitive, then I definitely want to put that as a top priority. Post or email February releases. Making sure that I got that email put together and sent out was also a top priority. And then schedule my first week of posts. As a direct seller, we all know what it feels like to be ahead of the game in your content strategy and post and get all those things ready so that you don't have to stress about them for the rest of the week. All right, so that's easy 3, top 3. That takes your 2 minutes. And then these ones are going to take a little bit more time depending on how much brain power you actually need for them. All right. So the next one, next option or next section down here is the next 3. So after you finish these top 3 and your wins, what are the next 3 things that you're going to be concentrating on? So first, email list for a workshop. Yes, there's a Cannon Planning workshop coming up soon. Prep for Bingo Bash. My team is running a Bingo Bash event later on this month. And then tax prep documents. It's February. We should be getting all of our documents and stuff in and ready to go for the taxes, our tax season, all of those things. So you might probably be working on those. So that is how I was able to take this list and kind of narrow it down into the order of things that I wanted to accomplish over the course of the week. So I just want you to think about really quickly the importance of being able to do these things. 1, you are going to pick your top 3 priorities. And the reason why this is important is it's those things when you hear, well, Eat That Frog is one of those things that pops into my head because I love that book by Brian Tracy. And he talks about how important it is to get those things that are really going to, I mean, nobody likes eating frogs. If you like frog legs, great. But I don't know many people do. So if you are one of those people that are like, ooh, I don't really want to eat this frog, that's why you eat it first so that you're done. You can go wash it down with some soda and get some candy, whatever. You're going to do those top 3 priorities first so that they're done and you don't have to let them sit there and marinate and think on your brain and cause you stress and discontent, right? The second thing, if we opt to use our planner or use our Brain Dump Weekly to schedule or set ourselves reminders, you can also use your phone to set reminders, right? For you to do the things that you need to get done over the course of the month, the week, the year, etc. If it's time sensitive, we're going to put it in our calendar and we're going to do the things. This is also a getting things done trick and tip that he talks about. If it needs to be done and it has a deadline, it needs to go in your calendar. Great way for you to remind yourself how to do that. Now, if you are not using a physical paper calendar, then you're using digital. That's fantastic. But if you're using a paper planner, you're following Cannon Planner, you're probably using a paper planner of some kind. Then make sure you get those scheduled in there. And then batch similar tasks together. How many times do you go, okay, I'm going to the store right now, so I'm going to make sure that I go to the store, get fuel in my car, run to the post office. Why? Why are you doing all of those things at the same time? Why wouldn't you just go to the store and come home and then do that and then come home, right? So there's a reason why we want to make sure that when we are batching like tasks, we want it to make sense. If you are making a video, make all the videos that you need to make for the week. This is something that I do. I sit down and I'm like, oh, I need a video for this. Okay, how many other videos do I need to make? That way I don't have to keep getting things out on the desk to be able to do my videos, right? You make one video, you make them all. So batch the similar tasks, find the things that you have on your list that can go together and then make that work for you. All right. So now it's your turn. I want you to write one thing that you have from your brain dump. if you've done it today or if you've done it this weekend. Write one thing from your brain dump that you are tackling today. I want you to comment that below. And then I'm going to pop in and check in on you and see how you're doing on those things. I want you to tell me what you're working on. Is it an easy 3, a top 3, or a next 3 that you're working on? Okay. So again, we're using the declutter your mind insert. If you are catching the replay of this, I am going to list the links for each of these 3 items up in the top. So journal, declutter your mind, or the brain dump weekly, which is my favorite weekly. I've included links for those. If you're following me on YouTube, you can check the description of the video. It will have those links available for there for you as well. I want you guys to be as successful as possible in your planning journey. And that is how and why Can and Plan was created. Whether it is working on your goals, you're developing your goals, you are building habits that will help you reach your goals, or you're trying to manage a task and you are in direct sales, network marketing, social selling, and you're following Can and Plan. Hopefully you're using a paper planner of some kind. And I want you to continue to stick around and hang out with me, because I love to continue to share all of this great information with you and watch you to be successful. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye, friends.